2024 Ford Mustang
EcoBoost without launch control.
Pretty all right.
Not bad.
Horsepower and torque.
315 horsepower, 350 pound-feet of torque from a 2.3-liter four-cylinder EcoBoost.
Okay, this is the 7th gen Mustang. It's all new. We've got the Mustang GT review coming tomorrow, but right now we've got the EcoBoost.
So let's get to the coolest part of this car while we are in it. Yuri, we got a drift brake, an electronic drift brake.
From the factory, and it actually works pretty well. It is an option. Not all Mustangs are gonna come with it, but the drift brake is attached to having paddles in your Mustang.
Yeah, so you have to get the performance package, which actually comes with a lot of cool stuff. You get upgraded sway bars, springs, tires, bigger wheels, a Torsen limited slip differential. So that's what we're currently driving, and that's what we're ripping around on a little autocross course as well as a little drift course with Chelsea Denofa from RTR, because this was developed in partnership with RTR, Chelsea, and Von Gittin Jr.
But more importantly, can you buy a manual transmission with the EcoBoost?
Yeah, so you didn't shift any gears. That's because you can't. There's no more manual in the EcoBoost, and you can only get paddles as part of this package. So if you don't get the performance package, you have no paddles and no way of shifting it, because the shifter, we currently have D and M. If you don't get this package, you get D and L.
And I think the letters here are the same letters from Batman Forever.
Okay.
So then you can only get manual transmission in the GT 5-liter Mustang.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. Yeah, like
so when you're searching for these cars on tsp.truecar.com, you know that anything manual after this year will be V8.
Yeah, I mean, good for Ford for doing that. And it's not really Ford's fault. The take rate on the manual was not very high on the EcoBoost, so that makes sense.
Okay, before we talk about how good or bad the transmission is, I want to talk about the looks, because that's the most striking thing about this car. We filmed the yellow one, and I think it looks great. In person, you look at it a little bit more, and you kind of like almost fall in love with the looks. Like, I really, really like it.
Yeah, and we made fun of it, and everyone made fun of it for looking like a Camaro in all the photos, and it kind of does, but when you see it in person, it does really help. The sharp, crisp lines are really cool.
Yeah, I just like everything about it. I think the convertible looks really cool too, because it's like such a flat deck. We got hard body lines, really, really cool front end with, you can either get chrome lights around the 3 headlights at the front or blacked out.
And what do you think of the headlights?
They're decent, but they're a lot better when the headlights are off. The daytime running lights is good.
Yeah, definitely.
And then the taillights. Dude.
Yeah, the taillights are pretty cool. They're razor sharp. The trunk itself is like 245-degree angles, kind of like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I love the body lines. Do you like these wheels?
I do like
any of the wheels.
There are a lot of different wheel variants, and they're all pretty nice and simple. Like, they did not screw up the wheels.
Nothing
by any way.
standout-ish though.
Exactly.
And then what would be the Continental recommended tire for an EcoBoost Mustang?
The Extreme Contact Sport 02.
And I was going through the twisty roads here somewhere in California, and it is actually very nice. Like, it feels good, it feels sporty, feels, I guess, less Mustang-y and more sports car-y.
Yes, I think they did a really good job with this new chassis compared to the last EcoBoost that we drove, which was also a convertible. It is a noticeable difference in terms of handling and feel.
And then back to the looks. We got a couple different stripe packages too. They look cool. Is there anything else you really like or dislike? We got a bunch of cool color options.
I mean, I wish they went a little bit crazier with this one. Like, it's still a little bit subtle. They kind of went more future. I wish they went more retro Fox body, considering we got Fox body gauges on the interior.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Don't tease me with Fox body gauges and then not give me Fox body looks on the outside.
Okay, and then we got dual exhaust, which is pretty nice.
Yes, we currently aren't driving the performance exhaust, but we did hear that, so all the sounds you're hearing from the yellow car is the performance exhaust in the loudest mode. And while we were on the autocross, we also had the exhaust in the loudest mode, and it kind of sounds okay.
So the intake sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but it's pumped in.
But no, I mean the intake sound from the front.
Oh, okay, from the outside.
And then we should probably listen to it
from the outside.
And with the valved exhaust, if you click the lock unlock button, it'll do a remote rev. See, there's nobody in there. All right, then in track mode, a little rip from the inside. It is a little pumped in.
Very pumped in, but like a decent tone.
All right, so with all that out of the way, I think it's your turn to drive, and we should probably put the top down because it's not even that hot out right now in California.
Bro, it is blazing hot out here.
While we're in the shade, let's test if the top operation is just as easy as the last one.
Oh, good thing it's still automatic. We didn't take that away.
With a little twist.
Ooh, nice and covered.
Looks like the back seats don't have much room.
With these nice red seatbelts with this nice stitching. Okay, it's pretty good.
It does not beep when it comes to a complete finish.
Definitely put it back up because it's a little hot in California.
It's hot,
right now.
it's sunny, and I'm gonna get a sunburn.
Boom, nice.
All right.
Slight brake boost. Ooh,
Oh, a little
yeah,
better.
there we go. Oh, back windows are still kind of up. There we go. Okay, yeah, I mean, this thing's pretty good.
It's got a little pep.
Yes, so let's see. The steering is so okay, so they changed the steering ratio. They made it a little bit quicker.
3% faster.
It is noticeable, and they actually changed the steering rack, which again, in combination with that ratio, like, this is really nice steering now.
It feels more sports car, right?
Yes, it feels less Mustang like the previous generation, more sports car, which is really nice. And I'm actually very excited to drive the GT because at this moment, right now in time, we have not driven the GT.
And then this motor apparently has a little bit more power. It's got a smaller, lighter turbo.
Yeah, so the weird part is we drove the one with the performance package of the last generation, which had 330 horsepower. We didn't drive the base, which had 310, so this has 315, which is more than the previous base, but we do have the performance package, so we don't have more in the performance package.
Is this an all right amount of power, or maybe just not?
This is decent.
But it's not enough for a Mustang, for us.
It's for us, no.
For a non-car person, it'd be fantastic.
Yes, or like someone that just wants the Mustang for the image, you will not be dissatisfied with the amount of power that you have in here.
You know, my favorite part about the Mustang image is the no spoiler look in the base models.
Yeah, you can actually do like a free spoiler delete on the website, which is pretty cool. You can do that in multiple trims, especially like I think on the convertible as well. And this 10-speed is all right, definitely not performance oriented. The downshifts are like sometimes really slow, and the upshifts are also really slow.
Yeah, on the autocross, it was like very difficult to get it to do what you wanted. A lot of understeer, and then that was with traction all the way off. You needed to really like have it do anything you wanted to do.
Exactly, and like out here, it does handle well. I'm not trying to induce any crazy oversteer or anything like that, like we were trying to do on the autocross course, and we just couldn't induce oversteer nicely on the autocross course at all.
A lot of confidence on these windy roads, though.
Yeah, but on that course, it just kept understeering. Like here,
but this has a lot of tire.
Yes, so this does feel pretty good out here. I mean, some more Continental tire would be nice. Just saying.
Put some thinner Continental tires on so you could actually slide it.
Yeah, or put some Extreme Contact DWS 06 Plus and just go full send on a pair of All Seasons on the back.
July, August Continental Tire promo in the comments below.
And if you wanted to roast those tires, we actually have Line Lock in here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's along in the menu with the drift brake and stuff like that. And then we got like a bunch of sport modes: normal, slippery, sport, track, and drag strip mode.
Yeah, and all of that is in these massive new screens, which we did not mention but clearly showed you.
Yeah, I guess it's infotainment time.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, this is all together one piece, where there is a lower trim version, I think the EcoBoost non-premium, that has it as two separate screens, even though it is two separate screens. And it's run by Unreal Engine. That's where you can show the Mustang, spin it around. Very, very, very fluid. They did move our climate buttons there instead of down here, but we do have a hard button for volume and a bunch of other stuff. Do you mind the infotainment?
I don't mind it at all. I would like the climate buttons to be hard buttons, but I understand why they're trying to do that. And you get these screens in all the models now, so there's no base model below this with more actual buttons.
But I feel like the backup camera resolution is higher in this than it is in the Mustangs with the manual driver's seat, because you have a power driver's seat.
Yes, which is actually really nice and comfortable. It's not that bolstered, They do have Recaros available as well, so that would be...
Those were nice, but I think these are great for just normal stuff. And then you got lumbar, like it is a very, very comfy seat.
And they're also heated and cooled through the infotainment.
Ventilated.
Yes, and the ventilation is very appreciated today for our SWAZ. But yeah, the steering wheel is also really nice too. Sorry to get off the infotainment. I really like the D shape. I like the size of it. They thinned it out and kind of added these things on the sides here. Like it feels less Mustang, more sports car overall, just sitting here. And even like this airbag, the whole steering wheel feels a little bit smaller.
I do like how they got rid of that Mustang button on the steering wheel and put it down here, and it makes it so much easier to pick out your modes, because when you click that, everything is right there, and it's so easy to customize the gauge clusters. Like, what do we have there, Jacob?
Well, currently I'm in the Fox body gauges just because they're my favorite, because I have a Fox body, shout out me. Although I deleted my gauges and customized them anyways. We have so many different drive modes, so if I press the mode buttons on the steering wheel and go through them, the animations are cool.
The best animation. Unreal Engine, baby.
Yeah, so many different drive modes. We even have a drag strip mode, although we don't have launch control in that mode, which would have been nice, but track mode looks pretty cool as well.
And you can change the colors around in your gauge cluster as well. You can also show auxiliary gauges, which shows a bunch of cool stuff. Like, what was it? It was
cylinder head pressure and
cylinder head temperature.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. They did a really good job.
Okay, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto in here. It's wired or wireless Apple CarPlay, which is fantastic. The best move they could have done. And it's USB and USB-C. We got a wireless charger up there, and then we always have an Apple CarPlay icon in the top right to get into it.
And then this whole area does not really look changed from the previous generation, other than the actual shifter looks a little bit different, and obviously the drift brake. Yeah. But the cup holders fit a Red Bull and a water right now.
It'll fit a small cup just fine. This armrest feels or like the
it feels and looks very similar.
Visors, probably the same. 3, 2, 1.
Full pass.
Full pass.
Good job. And to talk about the suspension, Magnet Ride is available on the EcoBoost, which is really nice. We don't currently have it, so our drive modes are not tied to the suspension, but this, without the Magnet Ride, is still really good.
Unbelievably dailyable.
Yeah, so I can only imagine that the Magnet Ride in these canyons would have been even better. Also, I did notice this fake carbon fiber-esque pattern, which is kind of nice. The Mustang interior kind of feels still like the last gen, but like a little bit better.
This is jet fighter inspired, we were told, because the gauge cluster is set up 10 degrees towards the driver, so it's a friggin' jet fighter.
I'm sorry,
it's a friggin' jet fighter.
Yes, the marketing department got you. But yeah, so this whole panel down here also moves when you press it, which is kind of weird.
Dude, this is still a Ford.
And then I noticed that the start-stop button is very dark red compared to the last one.
Yeah, I feel like put that somewhere else and put like a volume and tuning knob there instead, please.
And just leave it at like bright red. Like if you want this fighter jet inspired, give me that like toggle switch like the Urus.
And do you like the light interior in here? I think it's pretty nice.
It's very fitting, especially for the convertible. It's not going to get too hot.
Okay, if you have a convertible and you're going through the desert, you might get some sand in here. So maybe if you're going top down, get a set of TuxMat.
Or if you're not going top down, definitely get a set of TuxMat anyways.
You could probably winter drive this too.
Yeah, go to TuxMat.com/TheStraightPipes. I would definitely winter drive this. I actually kind of want to drive my Fox body in the winter, but not with my drag wheel setup.
Yeah, I did that with the Prowler for 1 year, and now I'm going to sell my Prowler winter wheels because I don't feel like the need to do that anymore.
I thought you were going to sell my Prowler.
No, never.
Like, oh no.
Never. All right, can you give me another little rip? I think it's been a while.
I would love to. I'm going to leave it in drive.
How about manual and then try to shift?
Drive.
That's pretty good.
It was pretty good.
But if you're going slow, like the pedal can be a little bit touchy. You might even need to put it into slippery mode. But then it's like touchy, but like it's still not like fast. It's just like
it's extra sensitive. I know what you mean.
The car is weird. It's like not sports car. You just have to accept that it's like sports car-ish, normal car, normal person, cool-looking car.
But considering this is the base entry-level model, they did a really good job. Like, it's not for us, but for the buyer, I think this is so much better than the previous one.
Like, if you're buying it for a kid as their first car, you buy it for them without the handbrake.
Yeah, but it would be nice if you can get manual for their first car so that they can learn manual.
Yeah, but like people don't do that anymore. Hey, at least this isn't hybrid.
Yes, exactly.
Because not that I mind it being a hybrid, I think it would probably feel weird as a hybrid because nobody's really nailed hybrids feeling good yet.
And I should state that the Mustang is the last American pony muscle car standing because the Camaro and the Challenger are officially dead next year. So the Mustang wins, no matter what setup it has.
I feel like we've gone overboard on this car.
Yeah, it's great.
Talked a lot about it. I assume since this is the EcoBoost, it's going to be nice and cheap. Let's get to the price.
The fastback starts at $30,920
American.
and this convertible that we're driving starts at $39,020, and this one is spec'd out to approximately $44,590.
Okay, that's almost like 60 grand Canadian.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot of money.
Cars are all expensive now, and I get it, but like, yeah, that's...
Yeah, I feel like you could probably still get an entry-level GT for very similar to this, and obviously that would be my recommendation.
Yeah, either way, they didn't screw up the new Mustang.
Exactly, they did not, so good job, Ford, and I'm definitely looking forward to driving that GT tomorrow, which you guys will also watch tomorrow.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and...
Yeah, just do that stuff. Thanks.
Bye.